Hi, I'm Peter Haviland, principal at North Attleboro High School, and you are watching quality local programming on North TV's Education Channel. Hello and welcome. I'm Pete Haviland, the principal here at North Attleboro High School, and we welcome each of you, the families and children of North Attleboro Middle School 8th grade. As you prepare for your child's education this coming fall, we wanted to provide you with some information about North Attleboro High School through this 8th grade Parent Night video. Because of the pandemic, we're unable to have everyone come into our building like we typically do each year. So we thought that through this video, we provide you with as much information in detail and a vision of how life is going to feel and how it's going to work for your children when they arrive at North Attleboro High School this coming fall. All of your children are welcomed and wanted. We're excited to support them. They're going to have excellent careers at the high school, and on behalf of our entire faculty and staff, I welcome each of you. So throughout this video, you're going to hear from our department heads, you're going to hear from students and coaches. And before we get to that, I want to introduce our assistant principals, Mr. Russell Booth and Mrs. Lisa Giuliano, who are going to share some information about life at North Attleboro High School.
Hi everyone, my name is Russ Booth. I'm one of the assistant principals here at North Attleboro High School. We're excited to welcome the class of 2025 here to North Attleboro High School, and I'm here to talk to you a little bit about our course selection process, program of studies, and what you can expect in the next couple of weeks as the course selection process gets underway. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to have virtual meetings with the 8th grade students across the street. We're going to go over things such as what credits are, how credits accumulate, and how you end up meeting graduation requirements. There are 110 credits needed to attain graduation, and along the way there are graduation requirements, which are specific classes that need to be taken, and we sprinkle those in throughout the course of the 4 years. After we talk about what credits are and what the graduation requirements are, we're going to go through what a typical freshman schedule is. A typical freshman schedule includes a math class, a science class, an English class, and a social studies class. Many students opt to take a world language class, which would be French or Spanish, because we now have a 2-year graduation requirement in a world language. Once we go over those things, we are going to go through the timeline with them. What they're going to end up doing is they're going to get a course recommendation from some of their current 8th grade teachers. The 8th grade teachers are going to be able to explain what to expect with some of the courses and what some of the levels are going to entail in terms of workload. Once the recommendation process is over, the window for selecting classes will be opened up for all students in the 8th grade to be able to select their classes online, either with some of their teachers present, or they're going to be able to select them with their parents or guardians at home. We anticipate the questions might come up along the way of the course selection process. As questions arise, please feel free to reach out to our guidance department, as we are always ready and available to answer any questions or concerns that come up. We look forward to welcoming the class of 2025 here at North Attleboro High School. Go Big Red.
Hi everybody, I'm Lisa Giuliano, assistant principal at North Attleboro High School. I'm looking forward to welcoming you in person in the fall and hope that you're just as excited to join our school community. It's important for us to let you know that our greatest priority is the support and well-being of all of our students. In the last few years, North Attleboro High School has made great strides towards creating a climate that's supportive and inclusive through our focus on social emotional learning and diversity, inclusion, and acceptance. We've expanded opportunities that increase our awareness of our students' overall well-being and allow them to get access to the resources and supports that they need. So please know you're the most important part of our school, and we can't wait to welcome you.
Hi, I'm Judd Gavin. I'm the head counselor at North Attleboro High School. So the purpose of our department is to really help kids out in that crucial developmental ages through grades 9 through 12. So typically starting off freshman year, we would work with students on their initial courses when they enter the high school. And we work with them from there all the way through graduation towards their future plans, their post-secondary after high school plans. So along the way, it's a lot of schedule work with students, a lot of working with them on discovering who they are, what their interests are, their learning styles, and using that information to help find potential career pathways, college majors, and ultimately the college application process by the time they're a senior. In a typical year in the fall, we would meet with incoming 8th graders as they come through the building and work on tours and getting to see the building and see what we have to offer as a whole school. We'd also meet with their parents in an evening program along with the other CILs to kind of discuss what we can offer and give them a better understanding of what North Attleboro High School is all about. Then typically later in the spring, we would, as a department, go over to the middle school and meet with the 8th graders to discuss the course selection process. It's a totally different process than what they're used to. And so we go over things such as credits, what credits are, how do you earn them, why do you need them, and then how many credits for each course. We talk about the typical course sequence, how many courses of English they need, how many courses of history, math, etc. And just go through what they can expect over the 4 years in general terms, in terms of what kind of course load they're going to have. We also have levels at the high school which are different than what they're used to at the middle school. So we explain the typical workload of our different levels, everything from our basic college prep level 2 courses, where a student would expect to have about an hour's worth of homework a night. Level 1, they would increase a little bit more, and up to honors, where they could have up to an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on their course load. And so students may vary in their ability to exceed standards in different subjects. We work with the student on their strengths, take parent input, teacher input, to help determine the best course for the student. Students always have the ability to take the whatever level course they feel is appropriate for them. We'll never say, you can't do that course, you're not ready for it. We'll let them experience whatever level they think they can do. We always caution them to be careful with their selection. Choose the course level, the highest level that you think you could be the most successful at. As they're coming into the school from the 8th grade, we don't know the students that well yet. We rely on their current teachers in 8th grade to make their recommendations. Our CILs work closely with the middle school to make sure that the curriculum is aligned so that they know what they can expect from year to year. The teachers know what the next level is going to bring, because they don't have the levels at the middle school, so they need to kind of do a little bit of that work with their existing teachers in the 8th grade. Once they're with us, we work closely with the kids. Sometimes they get in over their head, they're a little bit overzealous and they need to move down a level. That's typically not a problem as long as there's a class available in the schedule. Or the other end of the spectrum happens where they're under-challenged. So we'll gather data from their teachers, we'll talk to the parents, we'll talk to the students, and make sure it's a good fit, but we can typically move them up a level too. So as we work with students on their post-secondary plans, whether that be college, career, or what have you, there's a lot of opportunities that we can offer them and things that they can take advantage of throughout their time. We have programs like the Early Enrollment Program, the EEP, where students have the opportunity to take a course at North Attleboro High School that's also registered as a college course through Rhode Island College. So they would actually register through RIC for the course, although they take it in our building with our teacher, and they can get credit at both. That opportunity, along with our dual enrollment program, which is a state-sponsored program, which enables students to take actual college courses at a local college. We typically send students over to BCC in Attleboro, Bristol Community College in Attleboro, and the Bridgewater State University's adjunct campus in Attleboro. And those students would actually take the courses remote, on their campus, at the college campus. They're not done in the high school. But both of those opportunities provide college-level coursework for students in high school, so they can get a good sense of what it's going to be like to take that coursework. Anytime a student has the opportunity to take that higher level of rigor, it's going to prepare them. They're going to know what to expect and be more prepared when they do step into a college classroom. Oftentimes we're able to find courses that are going to relate to the post-secondary plans that the student has. If they have an interest in history, in World War II history, we may find a course on the Holocaust that they can take at a community college, something that we might not be able to offer within our curriculum, but still give them that learning opportunity and count it towards their graduation requirements. So we regularly will monitor students' progress in their classes. We will get copies of their standardized test scores, whether that's the MCAS scores or PSATs, even SAT scores. So we can work with the student individually to monitor those grades, monitor those test scores, and help them figure out a plan using their strengths in different subjects and different areas of those tests. We also do a lot of surveys with the students through Naviance, which is an online platform where they can do a lot of self-exploration, learn about their interests and how those interests relate to specific career pathways. So by combining that information, we can generally give the student a pretty good idea of the types of career paths, the types of career fields that may be well suited for them, and also looking to combine that with their personal interests. If they always wanted to be a doctor, then we're not going to shoot that idea down just because it came up that they should be something different. So in addition to the college and career planning aspect of the job, we do a lot of work with students for the whole student. A lot of social emotional development, a lot of conflict resolution, and oftentimes our department will work very closely with our school psychologist and our school adjustment office to help those students who may need a little bit more of the emotional counseling than we can provide in our office. So the most common way for a student to access a counselor is to come down into the office and have a meeting with us. We are also readily available via email for both students and parents, phone calls, which are typically parents only. But we're also able to set up Google Meets and meet with students and their parents. Often it's difficult for parents to come into the building because of their own work schedule, but they might be able to carve out 10 to 15 minutes to have a quick Google Meet to discuss a situation. And we can do that with the student present or with the student also on a virtual meeting as well.
I am Kelsey Gregory. I am the Curriculum and Instructional Leader at North Attleboro High School for the Special Education Department. The Special Education Department would really like everyone to know that we really embody the idea that every student has a seat at the table. We really try and include students in all areas of the high school experience so that they are ready for their life after high school, regardless of what it may look like. We are more of a support system in assuring that students have the best high school experience and have the greatest opportunity of a high level of education. As a part of supporting children, a team is created. That team includes the team chair, the special education team chair, the special education liaison, the general education teachers, the support staff, so maybe OT, PTs, counselors, school psychologists, but most importantly, the student. All those people being at the table allows for everyone's voices to be heard. Specific areas of expertise are heard and valued, and that when you bring them all together, it creates a full plan so that the student has the greatest opportunity of success throughout their high school experience. Our biggest priority in the special education department is getting to know children. Some of the ways we get to know the children are by just asking them simple questions. What are you into? What do you like? What classes aren't your strengths? What are your strengths? And leveraging those pieces to kind of put together the puzzle. An initiative that we started a couple years ago was the co-teaching model. And that allows us to have a full-time special education teacher and a full-time content area teacher teaching together collaboratively 100% of the time, so that it gives a greater number of students a higher level of education and opportunity in the inclusion setting. I want parents to know that when their kid comes up to the 8th grade, from 8th grade to the high school, they're putting their kid in hands where we're going to do what's best for the kid. We really value inclusion because ultimately it allows for equity regardless of the student's ability.
I'm Judd Gavin. I'm the head guidance counselor at North Attleboro High School, and I'm also the advanced placement coordinator. So one of the things we're really proud of at North Attleboro High School is our robust program of studies. The CILs, along with building administration, have done a lot of work over the past few years to really enhance the opportunities that we offer for students of all levels. Everything from college and career exploration to college and career readiness courses, even up to the innovation pathways that we're trying to get students to understand the value of what they're learning now in high school and as it relates to career paths down the line. One of the biggest things that we focus on is being ready for that next step, whatever it might be. And when we're talking about college readiness, there's no better preparation than the AP program. So students who take advantage of the AP courses are actually getting the college level rigor while they're in high school. And studies have shown that students who take an AP course and take an AP exam have a higher percentage of grade point average versus students who never had that opportunity. So the fact that we're able to offer so many of our students the AP offerings and to see the success that they have in the AP exams is a really exciting thing for their future. So the advanced placement courses, or AP courses, are a function of the College Board. And the College Board exists to give students the readiness or the opportunity to show their readiness to succeed at the college level. And by taking the advanced placement courses, students are taking courses that have been approved. Their curriculum is developed locally but approved by the College Board to meet certain standards. They're going to prepare kids for the next level in schools. Part of the AP program is the exam at the end of the year, and that exam score ranges from a 1 to a 5, and scores of 3 or higher are eligible at many colleges towards college credit, either directly in that subject matter that they've taken or elective in some cases. So students can really, by taking an AP exam that costs under $100, earn up to 3 college credits per course and save thousands of dollars down the line in the long run. And it gives them a taste of what it's going to be like to sit for a college final exam after taking the rigorous course. So the advanced placement courses are by far the most rigorous that we offer in the school. Many of them require pre-course summer work to be completed, and students can expect to spend a fair amount of time outside of the classroom on independent and deeper learning skills. All of that hard work does pay off at the end when they have that opportunity to take the exam, but it does really replicate the amount of hours that a student would expect to spend in a college level class. So one of the things we're most proud of with our AP program is the number of courses that we're able to offer students every year, the high number of students who take advantage of those courses and who score extremely well, and the high percentages of students who get that qualifying score of 3 or higher on their AP exams each year. And just looking at last year's data, we had 224 students at the high school who took a total of 373 exams and averaged a score of 3.9 out of 5 overall. Included in these results, 79 students received acknowledgement for the College Board for their performance on the test, 35 of which earned the achievement of AP Scholar, which was students who received a 3 or higher on 3 or more AP exams. We had 14 AP Scholars with honor, which scored at least a 3.2 on all AP exams taken, and scores of 3 or higher on 4 or more tests. 29 of our students were AP Scholars with distinction. This means that they scored at least a 3.5 on all of their AP exams and scored 3 or higher on 5 or more of these exams. And impressively enough, we had 1 student receive a National AP Scholar. This student received a score of at least 4 on all AP exams taken and got scores of 4 or higher on 8 or more of AP exams throughout their high school career. This impressive performance by our students placed us 18th in the state for students scoring 3 or higher, with a total of 89.8 students reaching this achievement. This incredible performance placed us on top of every other school in the Hockomock League. Over the past 5 years, our enrollment trend in AP exams has increased, as has the number of total exams given. Impressively enough, the average score of our AP exams has also increased over the past 5 years. This upward trend continues to highlight the amazing success our students at North Attleboro High School can achieve. While many of the AP courses do carry a prerequisite of previous coursework in order to have that base knowledge of the course, we don't limit who can access the AP based on what level they might be in currently. If a student has an interest in a subject and wants to take the course and is prepared and understanding of the amount of rigor they're going to face and the amount of work they're going to have to do, we encourage all students to give it a shot if they think they can be successful at it. The student has to be able to know their limits, but at the same time we want students to challenge themselves and expand their horizons. And taking the AP program is one of the greatest ways they could do that.
My name is Jack Johnson. I'm the Curriculum Instructional Leader at the North Attleboro High School English Department. The English Department at North Attleboro High School is, I think, a very strong department that offers a wide variety of courses to address the Massachusetts Curriculum Framework standards. All of our kids start off taking freshman English, then all of our kids take sophomore English. Those are full-year courses. We do offer them at different levels of instruction, so that's good for kids. Kids who have a better foundation, kids who are highly motivated, and kids who, as juniors and seniors, want to participate in the advanced placement program. They would try and start off in the freshman and sophomore honors. And then students who need a little more attention, maybe need a little slower pace, they would be in either our level 1 or level 2 classes that meets their needs. One of the things that I like about our department in the level 2 classes, there's 2 adults in the room in many cases. There's the certified English teacher plus another teacher who helps out to help modify curriculum and help meet the individual needs of students. But what I really like about our department is the commitment of our very strong veteran staff, their knowledge of their content, their desire, their sincere desire to help kids improve, help kids meet the varied expectations of being high school students. And then the other thing I really like about our department that and I hear this from people who have interviewed for positions in our department, when students get to be juniors and seniors, they have the option of selecting from a wide range of semester elective courses, reading courses, writing courses, speaking courses, many of which were designed based on teachers' individual interest and expertise. For example, we have a course called Fantasy and Science Fiction taught by Miss O'Brien. This course came out of her master's thesis that she did several years ago. We have another course called American Sports Literature that I was fortunate enough to be able to design. I designed it as an interdisciplinary course with Mr. Paul Sullivan when he was a history teacher. We have a course called Critical Thinking and Writing. The text is Time Magazine. It's dealing with current issues. And then creative writing, journalism. We have a Utopias class that reads dystopian novels like 1984 and Brave New World, which are entirely relevant today. So we use all these different courses to meet the basic expectations that students read, write, speak, listen, and understand the language. We think we got a multi-pronged attack that's going to help kids, or a multi-pronged plan that's going to help kids get through school and have a deep appreciation for different parts of literature. When students come across the street from our middle school, they have already selected their freshman English level, and I would encourage parents and 8th grade students to trust the recommendation of the 8th grade teachers. It's a veteran staff at that school. They are very well acquainted with our program, with our expectations. We communicate with them frequently, so they know your 8th grade student pretty well now. They know our curriculum very well. They have open lines of communication with me and other English teachers, so I would say trust their recommendation. The other thing is, you might be recommended for, say, level 1 freshman English, and you get across the street as a 9th grader and you are really excelling and you want to challenge yourself as a sophomore. You could make the jump to sophomore honors if you want to, or you might find maybe you overshot, you jumped into freshman English, and then sophomore year you bounce down to level 1. Not a big deal. So one of the big challenges for 9th graders is to understand our daily expectations. And that would include the volume of work that we ask kids to do in class, the amount of help that they're going to get in class. If you're in the honors level, you're going to be a much more independent learner. If you're in the level 2, you may have needs that require a slower pace, a much more structured approach. And I'll give the example of writing an essay. There are some common essays that our students write. For example, when everybody studies Romeo and Juliet, and they write an essay on fate and free will in that play, honors level kids would probably be expected to write most of that on their own time as homework with some instruction in class. Level 2 kids, that might be an exercise that takes a couple of weeks where each paragraph is written in draft form in class with immediate feedback from the teacher, because that's what some kids need. So we offer that flexibility of instruction, that range of instruction to meet the kids' needs. So I think, again, trust the 8th grade teacher's recommendation. If you're still not clear, you can always contact us at the high school, and we'll give you our best attempt at an honest answer. And then you just got to be able to jump in and see how it goes, and know that what happens during the first semester of freshman year doesn't need to determine what happens the other 3.5 years of your high school career. If you can move up, you can move down, we try and make it work for everybody. We follow the Massachusetts Curriculum Framework Standards, which means that all of our students, by the time they graduate, have to be proficient at reading literature, novels, short stories, poems and plays, reading informational texts, anything from the newspaper, watching, visual text. A TED Talk is a visual text. In fact, we have an elective open to our upperclassmen called Analysis of Visual Text that just started a couple years ago. Very successful course. Standards also say that our kids need to be proficient at writing arguments, writing narratives, writing explanatory texts. So we expose our 9th graders to all 3 of those types of writing. Students have to be proficient at speaking and listening. Speaking and listening might be one-on-one conversations, exercises kids do together, smaller groups, whole class discussions, and even formal oral oral presentations, or we have a project done during the 9th grade year where kids produce their own podcast. We're working toward kids having the ability to do their own TED Talks. So we're using the technology that we now have in our school and the comfort level that our staff and students have with the technology to address these expectations in ways that are meeting the expectations of 21st century students. And then we also have the language expectation, and that's everything from grammar and sentence structure to vocabulary. So we're in the freshman year, it's a comprehensive year-long overview of English instruction geared toward getting kids comfortable with our expectations so that they can excel the rest of their 3 years. At North Attleboro High School in our English department, we believe that all kids can succeed. And the reason I'm comfortable saying that is because we have a staff that is experienced and committed to helping kids succeed, and our program includes such things as co-taught English classes, extra help. Even in this, in our current hybrid environment, we use the X block as an extended period of time twice a week for kids to have one-on-one meetings with their teachers, and we find that's the best way to replicate what would happen in a non-hybrid situation where a kid would ordinarily go to my class, for example, and say, hey, Mr. Johnson, I need some help with this essay. We can't necessarily do that right now. Some kids are at home, but a kid could say, hey, Mr. Johnson, can we meet during X block online? I'd like to go through my paper, and the answer is yes. So that's how we're making things work. So we've got some plans in place for hybrid and regular situations that we think have been and will continue to be helpful for kids who need that little extra support to succeed. We also have a bunch of students in our school who excel academically, enjoy challenging themselves, and are ready for our most rigorous courses. And in English, our most rigorous courses are our advanced placement courses. We offer two, like most Massachusetts public high schools. In the junior year, students can elect advanced placement, the language and composition course taught by Mr. Holster, another veteran teacher. It prepares kids for the advanced placement language exam. Its emphasis is on nonfiction and rhetorical analysis. Our kids have excelled on that exam. As a school, we have done really well, and Mr. Holster's students over the years have done very well. So, if students are thinking they might want to enroll in that class as a junior, they're probably going to want to be in the freshman honors and the sophomore honors class. So that's the freshman honors and sophomore honors are referred to sometimes as pre-AP courses. So we have those. And then in the 12th grade year, seniors can elect to take our second AP course, which prepares them to take the advanced placement literature and composition course. That's taught by Mrs. Anderson, another veteran teacher. And again, our kids have done really well on that exam. So the sequence of freshman honors, sophomore honors, advanced placement, grade 11, advanced placement, grade 12, it allows our most motivated, most capable students of meeting the highest challenges associated with a nationally recognized exam. And again, our kids have done very well.
I am Maurice Sullivan. I am the Curriculum and Instructional Leader at North Attleboro High School for the Social Studies Department. In the Social Studies Department, we see our learning philosophy across the department is that we are preparing students to become responsible, engaged members of society who are equipped with the content, knowledge, and the skills necessary to live and thrive in the United States in the 21st century. Social studies is a 4-year graduation requirement at North Attleboro High School, and currently we are in the process of curriculum revision, where we are realigning our course sequence, and so the incoming freshmen, the ones who come in the fall of 2021, will be the first group of students to actually go through this new pathway that we've created, which we're pretty excited about. We have revised some of our core content courses, as well as increased the number of electives that we plan on offering. So this year's incoming freshmen will be the first group that will get that new experience. And then The other key component that is important to know, I think, is all students will be participating in a state-mandated civics project in the semester that they are enrolled in their civics course, which the civics course is a graduation requirement. And so the civics project will be a semester-long project where they are engaging in a real-world problem and exploring the ways that they can make change in their communities. So we're pretty excited about introducing that into our courses. It aligns with our philosophy of making their coursework authentic and meaningful. So the course sequence in social studies, all freshmen and sophomores will take a combination of US and world history classes to start their high school years. And then the junior and senior years will be reserved for that graduation requirement civics course, which is 1 semester. And then it will free up the rest of their time. They can choose any number of electives or any number of AP courses that we offer in our department. In the freshman and sophomore year, the students will have the opportunity of taking the US and world courses at 3 different levels: honors level 1 and level 2. So the honors courses are the more rigorous of the courses. In the junior and senior year, the students will have the option of, again, they will have some leveled courses, but we also introduce AP courses in the junior and senior year. And so currently we offer AP Psychology, which is one of our more popular courses and one that our students perform very well in. In fact, last year, our students performed, they had the 5th highest scores in the state on the AP exam in psychology. US history, students also performed very well on that. I think it was they were 28th in the state in US history. And we currently, this is the first year that we're offering AP economics, and we're looking to expand our AP offerings to AP government and also an AP world history course. So in the social studies department, we have leveled courses, and the level 2 courses are where the students receive the most support. Many of our level 2 courses are include the presence of a special education teacher or paraprofessional, or one of the ELL teachers or paraprofessionals. And so there's a lot of alignment between the special education department and the classroom teachers. And so the special education teachers are both in the classroom to provide support in the classroom, and then they also have the students at another point during the day in their academic support periods. And so it's helpful to have those teachers who have both experienced the in-person lesson and so that they can provide that extra support for those students. So that's a really helpful program that we have. We have transitioned away from probably what people might think of as a traditional history class, where students are required to, just memorize and kind of repeat back some facts, and utilizing all of the technology that's available to us. And so we have, not only in this pandemic year, but also in previous years, really started to incorporate the use of various devices in our classroom, including Chromebooks for the students. I think that students who come to North Attleboro High School are entering a great community. The social studies department in particular, I think one of our specialties is studying communities, and we feel like that's what we do here, that we build a community for students. We have a wide range of course offerings for these students. The teachers themselves are knowledgeable, extremely passionate about what they do. They keep up with current issues, they keep up with current teaching and learning philosophies, and really see high school students as a special group of people that we enjoy working with. And so we see these students as part of our community and like to provide them the best possible opportunity that we can. We can give students a deeper understanding of some of the complexities of the past, both in the United States and across the world. And so we feel like by designing the freshman and sophomore courses to be a little bit more diverse and also more comprehensive, we can actually build better content knowledge. And then by doing that, we can also guarantee that students will have the time in their schedules to take the civics course. So we can guarantee that all students will graduate with a civics course. And it will also free up some time to introduce some more electives. So it's going to give a little bit more of a individualized or personalized experience for the students.
I'm Jill Torres. I'm the Curriculum Instructional Leader of the World Language Department at North Attleboro High School. All students should know that at the World Language Department here at North, the teachers are passionate about the subjects that they teach. Most of our teachers have lived abroad and therefore have experienced other cultures. In addition to their passion for the language, they're here for the right reason. They're here for the students. And really trying to open up students' minds to different cultures, to different ways of life outside of Massachusetts, outside of the United States. But also just to get across that with a language, it's not just studying grammar and studying words, but how tightly a language is actually connected to a culture. So oftentimes we'll have to look at English and see how English in the language is connected to the way we live in our culture. So most students that come from the middle school start with a Spanish or a French 2 because they had Spanish and French over at the middle school, and they end up doing really well in our program. So it's nice if they start as a freshman in 2, it gives them 4 years of high school language in their program of study. But not everybody does that. Some people don't take language in the middle school, so they'll start in a Spanish 1, which is also offered in French as well. We have up to a 5th year of Spanish. So you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, Spanish 5, or an AP. And the same with French. We offer 5 years of the language. So those that have a passion for it and want to continue with it on in college or in their life have opportunities to continue for all 4 years that they're here. For Spanish, we have a program with Rhode Island College where students can actually get college credit if they take the Spanish 4 honors class through North Attleboro. So it gives them a little step up when they start college. Freshmen can start in Spanish 1 or Spanish 2. For all of our levels, we have levels 1, level 2, and starting in Spanish 3, we have honors, and then we also go on to AP. So there's a 3 honors, a 4 honors, a 5, and an AP class. So those that are willing to put in the effort and really enjoy the language, by the end of our program, no doubt they will be able to read, write, listen, and speak in the language, and not only that, have a very vast understanding of various Spanish-speaking cultures and French-speaking cultures depending on the language that they take. Through the 4-year course of study at North Attleboro High School, we certainly want to introduce every student to a language. Like I said before, every student will not be passionate for Spanish or French, but it's important. All studies show that when you learn a second language, you're exercising your brain. So it's another skill that can help you in other areas of your life as well, and learning different content materials in high school. So that's, for one, it's a great workout for the brain. So we do require 2 years, which I think is important in our world today. Just knowing one language really isn't the way the world is going, so it's important to at least expose students to be able to understand words here and there and understand different cultures. So that's for the kids that really aren't passionate about it, and then the ones that are passionate about it and want to continue. The opportunities by AP Spanish, these kids are pretty fluent in their language, which is really impressive because they did not learn it at home, most of them. Some of them speak Spanish at home, but not many. And by the time they get up to AP and take that test, they are successful in reading, writing, listening, and speaking in a second language. Also, those kids that are planning on going to college, most colleges require 2 years. I know that some require 3, and there's a handful out there now that actually require 4 years of high school Spanish for admission to their school. We're fortunate at North that we have a very strong program with liaisons for students who struggle. So having the requirement for Spanish 1 and 2, we have all sorts of resources to help them, but also teachers are experts at scaffolding and varying instruction to reach the different types of learners, especially now in the world that we live in. Everybody learns differently, and I think we're aware of that here. So we do what we need to do in the classroom to reach those students. We're available for help after school. And each level has levels 1, 2, and starting in Spanish 3 and French 3, there's an honors as well. So students can choose the level they're most comfortable with. But regardless of one's level, our goal is to introduce students to the language, to open their minds, and to just get them to think about the world around us, world other than the one we live in here. So last year, the World Language Department at North Attleboro High School implemented the Seal of Biliteracy exam, and this exam is open to any student who speaks a language other than English at home. We thought it was important to include these kids because they have a whole set of skills that might not be apparent in their everyday life at school, you know, in the English-speaking world. So we had dozens of students take this test and pass it, which means they are literate in 2 languages, English and whatever language they tested in, and we had over 7 languages that students tested in. And then it's also equally impressive for the student who does not speak another language at home, that begins with us here at the high school or at the middle school and continues at the high school, learns another language well enough to pass the State of Massachusetts Seal of Biliteracy exam, proving again that they are successful in reading, writing, listening, and speaking in a language other than English. So it offers opportunities to those that are really ambitious and motivated to learn the other language, and those that are fortunate enough to have another language and culture that they're living at home. With the current technology and the way technology is moving these days, we've had huge advances in the World Language Department at North Attleboro. Fortunately, last year we were able to get online textbooks, so students no longer have to carry a heavy textbook back and forth, forget to bring it to class. Everything's online, and because we're a one-to-one school, they have easy access to their vocabulary, their grammar, everything they need to know in both Spanish and French, wherever they are. So that's been a real plus for us. In addition, technology has allowed us to have so many more opportunities of authentic spoken language. So we can connect to people in Spain, we can connect to people in Latin America, in France, we can connect to their newspapers, magazines, TV shows. So it's a huge outlet for us to connect with the world, even though we're sitting in the high school in North Attleboro. So as far as exposure and opening students' minds to different cultures and different people, it's been phenomenal. We've also have Google Classroom where students submit their work, and it allows teachers to give feedback before the final grade is due. So in the process of learning, they can see their mistake, think about it, try to adjust it before that actual final product is due. And students often are uncomfortable speaking the language in the class, so I have found they're so much more comfortable speaking into a computer. And is that okay? That's fine. They're still producing the language, and now I listen to it through a voice memo or through a Flipgrid. So it's still them producing the language, speaking the language, the teacher listening, providing some feedback. And if students are remote, they can also get feedback by the computer. So as far as world languages go, the technology is huge, and it's really opened up experiences for us in this building in North Attleboro, Massachusetts, to communicate with the world.
My name is TJ Rizzo. I'm the CIL for the Fine Arts Department at North Attleboro High School. The Fine Arts Department at N.A.H.S is vibrant, offers a ton of activities, a ton of classes, lots of different disciplines, and it's a great way for our students to express themselves creatively throughout the academic day and after school. The courses in fine arts don't follow a very specific order. However, we do have different levels of courses. So students could take introductory courses, which are Tier 1, follow them up with a Tier 2 course, and then for those who are passionate about it, they can go as far as a Tier 3 course. The Fine Arts Department offers electives, so they're open to the entire population of the school. Introductory courses are aimed to get as many people into our program as we can, and as we go through our level, our Tier 1, our Tier 2, and our Tier 3 courses, because we're getting more specific as far as genre, as far as discipline, and the workload is more rigorous, our levels get a little bit tougher. So our introductory courses are typically level 1 or level 2, but as we get higher up, they're level 1s. The Fine Arts program offers a lot of project-based learning, so real-life situations, really forcing our students to take a look at themselves, reflect on their work, and really focus on growing as a student. So some of the more recent courses that we've added are digital photography, using brand new equipment, state-of-the-art equipment, our yearbook design studio, where students actually help in the creation of our lasting yearbook that we give out every single year. We use a lot of digital tools in our music department, recently adding a music technology course and a composition course, where students are able to collaborate both in person and online. Our teachers are really invested in providing real-world experience to our students. So whether it's meeting with community members to create brochures or maps or design programs for the town or advertisements, our teachers embrace that and try to do that. Whether it's working with each other in a professional manner so that students are used to taking critique and growing with it, we try to embrace that. So we're really focused not just on this is a right answer or this is a wrong answer, but really about growing a student from nothing, from minimal experience to preparing them for a job outside of high school. As I may have mentioned, we really focus on the growth of a student, whether it's an artist or a musician. We really start from what do they come in knowing and how do we improve them? How do we get them to grow as a musician or an artist? It's not about how well they do on an exam. It's really about what is the compilation of their work over their time through a course or through their 4 years here. So we really want to grow people as artists, as creative thinkers. We invite all of our students to take as many arts courses as they can in their high school career here. They're all introductory in the aim that they're able to find themselves, find their niche, and be creative. Through that, find a passion, continue on, and we offer so many different courses here that we really believe strongly that they can find an interest in any of our disciplines in the Fine Arts Department. As an alum of North Attleboro High School, as a community member, I'm really, really proud of what this entire school and specifically this program has to offer. The amount of growth that our fine arts has endured over the past few years is really incredible, and our offerings really are second to none.
I'm Patty Bratberg. I'm the Curriculum Instructional Leader for the Math and Business Department at North Attleboro High School. My role at North Attleboro High School involves multiple areas. So I oversee the math department, and I also oversee the business department, which includes computer science under that umbrella. My role in math primarily is to ensure that all students can and will learn math deeply and fully and become proficient problem solvers so they can enter the world knowing how to tackle something messy, something they've never seen before, and do it with confidence and just the sort of perseverance that folks need to thrive in the 21st century. In business, we have a new and growing program in which students have the opportunity to explore business classes through an Introduction to Business program, and then from there, there are multiple pathways for them to continue that exploration, whether they choose to be an entrepreneur or explore the world of marketing, and that program is growing and increasing every semester and every year with our innovative, fantastic teachers who have been in industry themselves and are bringing that passion to kids every day. In computer science, it's a similar model to business in that kids have an opportunity to explore an introduction to computer science, and then from there, there are multiple paths they can choose all the way up to an advanced placement computer science course, and the instructor in that course works very closely with students to make sure that the courses are relevant and really cater to students' interests and areas they'd like to explore. Here at North Attleboro, we believe that all students have the right to a rich and deep mathematical experience. I think historically, folks are often deemed a math person or not a math person at a very young age, and we believe that that is not the case and that all students are entitled to a rich and fulfilling math experience. With that said, we make sure to incorporate real-world application at a very early level in mathematics so students never feel as though they're learning math in a vacuum that isn't relevant to them. So math becomes immediately relevant to all students, and as students learn and grow and become more confident, there are multiple opportunities for them to explore math more deeply and more fully by switching levels or by realizing that they have a dream of taking calculus, and so allowing them to take Algebra 2 and geometry at the same time so that they can access those more rigorous courses as they become more confident in their problem-solving abilities. So as a parent, it's often an experience where you're looking at your child doing math and it looks different than the math that you did as a kid or the math that you understand. And the interesting piece of it is that math is being taught in a way that provides all students with access to a much more in-depth understanding of what's actually happening. So folks who perceive themselves to be a math person have a natural intuition about numbers and math and patterns, and it's very comfortable and exciting for them. Folks who may have previously thought of themselves as someone who maybe wouldn't be a math person, we're providing opportunities to show them the pathways that create that intuition, that help that intuition thrive, because everyone's a problem solver. Everybody solves problems every day. Everybody uses numbers every day. And it's our job to make sure that all students and parents understand that problem solving is just an umbrella that covers all of mathematics, and that the more rigorous we can be with that problem solving, the more intuition we develop, the more confidence we develop, and we eliminate that concept that some people are math people and some people are not. We are all people, and we all do math every day, and therefore we're all math people. And it's our job to make sure that kids come to understand that, and that parents understand that, and that we really make sure that everyone has a joyful experience in problem solving. Gone are the days of a teacher standing at the board and bestowing their knowledge upon students through, writing a series of notes. Students are often encouraged to be a part of that note-taking experience. If a student is trying to create a repertoire or a guide for themselves, they are part author of that guide. Now, and the integration of the technology and the real tasks that we're asking students to do allows teachers to assess in real time if a student is finding success in that particular standard. It allows us to modify instruction. It allows us to modify assessment opportunities in a much faster and much more relevant way, which really sets all students up to be successful in the end. You don't end at this performance task not knowing if every student has access to those skills. We have the ability to know that as we build up to it, which allows us to promote mastery for all students. In the math department, we offer a core series of courses for all students. So all students will take an Algebra 1 course if they have not already done so at the middle school level. They then enter a geometry course and then finish with an Algebra 2 course. So that's our core curriculum for all students in North Attleboro. From there, students have a lot of choice about where they want to continue their mathematics studies. So they may choose to move on to a statistics course to get some of that real-world relevant experiences that many folks explore in their post-secondary endeavors. And other folks stay on a more traditional mathematical pathway in terms of pre-calculus and trigonometry, with the culminating experience being a calculus or an advanced placement calculus course. When you think about business, I think when we think about the business department, it's really important to think about the fact that we have professionals who are passionate about teaching students and children, but they have a background in business. So they're taking their passion for teaching and their real world experience and blending them to give students relevant opportunities to really explore business and to see where their passions might lie. And the department has, through curriculum and through the design process, has been able to create a program where students are introduced to business in a general way where they cover, generally speaking, multiple angles of the business world. And from there, students can identify where they would like to focus their learning. And so as the program is being built and the program is expanding, we currently offer students an opportunity to explore entrepreneurship or sports and entertainment marketing. From there, the goal is to create sort of capstone experiences where students can start to create their own brands or create their own experiences so that they can really see what it's like to be in business in 2021 or beyond. And the teachers are trying to make this even more relevant by allowing students opportunities to talk to professionals in the business world, to come in and ask them questions, and they're learning about internship opportunities that will be available to them as they start to embark in their college journey and sort of beyond the high school experience. And it's really exciting for students to see the potential that's out there in a few short years. And so students are really excited about that, and I'm really excited to see this program just grow and blossom and become as excellent and a program I'd want to go through myself as a person.
I'm Stacia Williams, the Science Department Curriculum Instructional Leader at North Attleboro High School. All incoming freshmen take a biology class that's going to prepare them for the MCAS that they'll take at the end of their freshman year. And then once they're done and they're going into sophomore year, they have the option of taking chemistry or AP biology. In the last couple of years, the schedule has changed, and so some students have decided to double up and take chemistry and AP biology in the same year. And then from there, their junior and senior year, there's a wide variety of classes that they can take. Environmental science, earth science, marine biology, anatomy and physiology, and then we have different engineering courses that we now offer, physics, AP Chem, AP Bio, so we have a lot of AP offerings as well. So the kids really have a chance to explore their interests and guide themselves along the way as to what they find interesting within science. So in our department, the new and innovative things that we've brought in the last few years is an engineering program that's developing currently still. They're bringing in some robotics aspects to the class, and they're really trying to design the class so that it's hands-on, real life based. They're building models of things, they're building robots, they're learning about electrical engineering, so it's been divided into electrical engineering and then mechanical and civil engineering. And so they kind of are gearing it towards those two different fields to give the kids more of an authentic feel and separating them so that they can see which one they enjoy. We've also brought in a biotechnology class where the kids learn about electrophoresis, PCR, bacterial transformation, and these are all science techniques that the kids would use if they go on either further in the science field in college. It would be great that they have these experiences ahead of time, and these are great industries, developing industries in the biotech world, and they use these techniques all the time. We've brought in a marine biology class to really provide all levels of students with a hands-on experience and learning about the aquatic world. They raise fish, they learn about the ocean, they test different salinities, so they're really trying some hands-on experiences. The environmental science class is developing and looking into collaborating with other outside places and trying to collect data for different places and get the kids that hands-on data graphing and analysis of the results. And so what we're trying to really do and transform into is getting these kids to learn how to observe the world around them, ask questions, really try to solve problems and articulate that and utilize a claim evidence reasoning of what is your claim? What did you think of? What's your claim? What evidence do you have, and what's your reasoning behind your claim? And if we can get the kids to that place, we feel like we're doing a great job of getting them into that science field and in that science thinking. We offer a variety of rigorous courses. We do have 4 AP science classes. They can take AP biology as young as sophomore year, as early as sophomore year, which we've found really opens it up so that kids who really want to compete and really want to push themselves or whatever their desires may be actually can fit in a lot of AP courses in science in their time here. So they can take it sophomore year and then they can do chemistry, AP chemistry, and with AP physics they don't even have to take physics first. So they could technically be doubling up in AP courses, and then they could take AP Physics 1 and junior year, AP Physics 2 senior year. So we've really tried to open it up so as many kids that want to take AP courses in their time here can. Some of our AP courses also have participate in the EEP program with Rhode Island College, where kids sign up for this EEP designation and they get credits through Rhode Island College by taking that AP course. The engineering program is also designed for all levels of students, and when they take the course, the teachers differentiate, and so if the kids want more rigor, they can have more rigor. For some students who have really invested in their learning and have really found a high interest in biology, they created a club this year called the Biology Club, and it's a group of students who have gotten together. They learn fun biology facts together as a team. They educate each other and dive into some of the biology topics and concepts much further than we would have time to in the classroom. And a group of them are all studying together to compete in something called the USABO, which stands for the USA Bio-Olympiad. This is a competition where they take 2 tests, and depending on where they rank, they advance further. The top 20 kids from those 2 exams go into like a training camp where they're learning further content and lab skills, and the top 4 kids from that training camp go on to compete in an international Olympiad where they compete against 70 different countries, and they've had amazing results from the USA. We also cater to students of all varying ranges of ability. We have all of our courses are offered at different levels, and we have courses that span the course of 2 years to semester-long courses depending on the pacing of the class itself. We have classes that have co-teachers, and so that allows for additional support within the classroom. So both people are available to help the kids with content and with clarification of directions or whatever it is that they may need. It's great to have that second person in the classroom during lab experiments because the teacher may be over here and the student needs something over here, and so both people can divide and conquer and help the students. We've also really tried to differentiate our labs. So the school has purchased a few different virtual lab programs through all of this pandemic situation. It's really been a benefit in this aspect that whether a student is remote or in person, they get to have some sort of authentic lab experience. We're using some of these virtual labs as pre-labs to get the kids a deeper understanding, I shouldn't say a deeper understanding, a base knowledge first before getting into the hands-on lab. So we're really trying to differentiate that instruction for every student, so every student has access to the content. So one thing I always say to the students is that they're at such an advantage over where I was when I was in school. Science has advanced so much in such a short period of time, and the things that the kids are exposed to and learning about now, I wish I had learned about in high school. Even making those connections between, how we've evolved and become where we are today, and trying to get them to understand the underlying themes of all science and making connections to where they are in the world, all of the technology that's at their fingertips, and that we try to bring into the classroom. We bring in Google, and we bring in, like I said, we have Labster, and we have Gizmo, Explore Learning. But the technology that's at their fingertips allows them such an advantage over where we were, or where I was when I was in school. And they now can learn about things, and if I say something in class that piques their interest, I love seeing the kids go home and research it more, and then come into class and think about, and pose questions to me that I might not even be able to answer, and I'll look up, and now I'm learning more. And so one thing that's I really value about the science department is that we are truly lifelong learners, because we kind of have to be, because science is always evolving and changing and developing new things. And so our science department here is really trying to reflect that, and we're getting to a point now where we really are offering these classes to reflect where science is today.
I'm Chris Perrin, the Curriculum Instructional Leader for Physical Education and Wellness here at North Attleboro High School. In terms of physical education, the purpose, first of all, is to create a lifelong learner. And we want that student to be engaged in purposeful, independent activity that they enjoy doing. And I think that's important for any course that they take here. But phys ed allows us to move. And the enjoyment that a kid might get in movement might be different from a seated course. So we really want them to engage in multiple activities and experience as much as possible in phys ed. That way they can make a decision later in life how to move, what they like, and what course they want to pursue later on as an adult. In wellness, the objective, first of all, is to make good decisions. And the entire course is all about seeing an issue, analyzing a problem, and how does it affect them. So it really hasn't changed much over the course of the years, but the problems have changed in terms of the health issues that we see. In terms of what physical education and wellness have become, we've changed it over the course of the last few years. Parents need to know that your students are engaged in a course that is a lifelong attempt to be fit and well. And what that means is they're going to come in and have class for each section of phys ed and or wellness at least one time in their 4 years. So even though we give credit, the credit for the course is based upon what level and extension of class they would like to take. So for example, as we move into freshman and sophomore year, that's one section of physical education. That's one section of wellness. Junior and senior year, they get to move into a different section of phys ed by choice. And it's really morphed into something that we're really excited about that we can talk about later on. In the wellness side, it's really exciting because they can choose a career path in wellness and have a course called Careers in Wellness. So we're really excited the way the curriculum's worked out for our students. In terms of societal wellness, let's say, for example, we take the vaping issue. We'll have a cardiovascular unit in physical education for the kids, and we'll absolutely dovetail that with cardiovascular health in wellness. And we'll talk about how vaping can affect the lungs, how it affects them and when their movement, how it affects them interacting socially. So we want to be relevant to the issues of the day and not so much focused on what was going on in the past. And students are well aware today of health issues with these new types of problems we see as teachers and administrators. So we're really focused on relevant topics that students can say, hey, I have knowledge now to combat and make a decision for my health. For our physical education classes, freshmen coming into their first year are going to experience multiple combination activities. And at the same time, we mentor sophomores in the same class. And all the time, we're looking for leadership. And we're looking for students to take self-leadership and combine that with team leadership. And as they move on in the years, students are allowed to select individual courses to their liking. So for example, with the multiple activities we offer, a student may really like fitness in terms of body training. So we'll offer 2 various situations where they can come in and elect that for an entire semester of physical best well training and physical best weight training. So it's a track that they're able to choose based upon their likeness. We're so proud of that track because it becomes a choice for them to make, and when they're choosing what they do, they're engaged, they're happy, and they're really fulfilling a role that is going to allow them to be that way for their life. I think physical education, our parents would not really recognize it as it's done. We start off every year in all levels, 9 through 12, with cooperative learning. And we engage any student based upon what they know and how to cooperate with other people. And that's a skill. That's a skill whether you're an athlete, whether you're someone who's going to get a job. And we want to see people engage with others in a way that they can understand what the other person is going through. And phys ed does that all the time. I think we are one of the best areas for kids to learn how to cooperate in society. And whether you're an athlete on the field in a game, you certainly have to cooperate with a coach, an opponent, and still try to be competitive. If you're a student in class, you may be engaged in an activity and now you have to cooperate with them and use the same language that for the game that they might not know. So it's really interesting to see it morph into a senior citizen who knows how to move. And I don't mean by senior being old, I mean a citizen in our school who's a kid who is mentored themselves into being just an example of cooperation. And it moves in society. So I'm really proud of that aspect. I think today's day and age, we've seen more of that student that may not have the social skills, and phys ed can draw that out of them. And what they do is they get to work with their peers, and that's so important. It's not, I do a lot of guided discovery teaching in our classes, and we show them the issues, we show them the game or the activity, and the peers get to huddle together and ask each other how to solve the issue. And we can really help a student who may not be the one that is in clubs or activities, and it's one of the first questions we ask. Do you enjoy doing this activity? Let's find time to do it when you're not here as well. So we want them to be social and acceptable to everyone in the class. So I appreciate the fact that phys ed can draw that out of a student. I started teaching here 32 years ago, and phys ed has completely changed and made a 180. And I'm very proud of that, and I'm proud to be a process of that. And what I think I've noticed the most is the fact that when a student comes into class, our teachers are relevant with the activities. There is not anything here that I think a parent may have done years ago in a phys ed class, but the students love it. And I'm proud of the fact that we keep up to date on newest, latest, and most recent activities. And we try to fail often. We try activities that may not go well, and the kids say, hey, can we try that again? And I'll say to myself, I think it worked well if they want to ask to do it again. I'm proud of the fact that in the 32 years we haven't gotten stale. Even though we've done some similar activities, I think the most important thing is that we engage students to be happy, we engage students to work hard, and they leave here with an experience where they want to come back.
I'm Lisa Maggot from the School to Career Partnership, working as a career specialist at North Attleboro High School. So I'm from the Attleboro School to Career Partnership. We've been working with the North Attleboro High School for a few years now. It started as a part-time role, but we've been fortunate enough to make it a full-time role here at North Attleboro, which has been really great. I work with students to help them with career exploration, awareness, and immersion. So I spend a lot of my time with students. We work on resumes, job searches, and we have connections with local employers. So we have students working with them, and they get provided work-based learning opportunities. So it's opportunities for students to start to understand life outside of high school and what career they might be interested in. Some of the programs and ways in which we allow them to do that is they job shadow, and they have internships which they get credit for here at school. Some are paid, some are unpaid. I also work with students to help them find part-time jobs, and they have also a lot of opportunities in terms of field trips that we do, career opportunity fairs that we do, Credit for Life, which is a financial literacy event that we offer our students. So we work with local employers. We have a lot of existing relationships already, and then we will make phone calls and reach out to employers and explain what it is that we do, and explain to them the benefits to our students, but also to employers, because they're kind of helping us get the future student workforce ready for what they want to do outside of high school. A lot of it is students will come to me and tell me, hey, I'm really interested, Mrs. Maggot, in learning what it means to be a vet. So if we don't have that relationship already, I'm more than happy to start making phone calls and use our connections to start a relationship so that we can actually have our students work alongside people in the areas that they're interested in. The benefit to the employer is they have students who are interested in that field. They're teaching them the skills that they'll need beyond high school. So they're kind of prepping students who are going to be their future employers. And then it's also, the employer is really interested in gaining that local connection and making that community connection with our students. So the benefit really, it works both ways, which has been great for everybody.
Hi, Kevin Hawker, Transition Coordinator, North Attleboro High School. The Transition Coordinator job was recently created because of the override that took place in town. And it's created in a sense that we are trying to prepare kids for their post-secondary life, what they're going to be doing when they're outside of high school. And for a lot of kids, this can look different. In some cases, we're working with groups of students, helping create the skills they need that they're going to need to be independent adults. We also work creating awareness about careers, different technical schools, community colleges, four-year colleges. We make bridges, we connect bridges for that kid, so when they leave the high school, they already have connections with people in those different institutions. In some cases, for certain kids, we'll make connections with state agencies that might support them further when they get out of school. And we also try to give students the opportunity to explore volunteer opportunities in the community and things of that nature. We make an effort to identify and support students that may need additional help in school. with academics and also with their transition into post-secondary environments. We provide these students with the skills they'll need that they can generalize into these settings when they graduate and kind of set them up for success. We also make sure we have equity of access to all the different programs in the school and in the community. And we make sure that these students are getting out into the community, doing volunteer work so they can start to develop these skills that are later going to be used when they enter into the workforce or into post-secondary education. And just prepare them beforehand so when they leave high school, they aren't kind of blindsided by the unknown. We've kind of created a bridge for them, and they've linked up with people who are going to help them after they leave us, so they feel confident and supported that they can continue on in their adult years and be successful further. Part of what we do is make sure that we're identifying students that may be underrepresented and perhaps on IEPs, and make sure that we are making connections for them, not only through the Attleboro School to Career Partnership, but with other agencies in the state that might benefit the student. That could be anybody from the Massachusetts Rehabilitation Commission to the Department of Developmental Services to the different accessibility offices at colleges, so when kids get into these college programs that they know who they can go to get accommodations they might need. To equal the playing field and make sure that they're being set up for success. Part of what we do is we work through the Iep Team Process to identify students' interests, their strengths, their needs, their preferences, in terms of what they want to do after they leave high school. And we'll do that when they first enter the school, and we'll start developing a plan with them, their families, the team here at the school, and we'll also bring in people from the outside that might have an interest, the student might have an interest in connecting with. And again, this could be anybody from a college admission rep to, say, a person from Mass Rehab who's going to take over the student's plan and create an individualized transition plan for them after they graduate. So the process begins immediately when they start going through the IEP team process, and we start to identify what these students need to have success once they leave us. And we make sure that we're making those connections for them so that we can build confidence and for them and their families that they will have success when they leave North Attleboro High School.
I'm Kurt Kummer. I'm the athletic director here at the high school. I'm also in charge of all after-school activities and clubs. Here in North Attleboro, we believe the most important thing is for you to participate. Whatever your interest is, we should have it here. Okay, we want you to participate because we feel like that's how you become part of our school culture. Our school culture is led by the kids who do. Okay, and we used to call it a student-athlete mentality, but it's everything. If you do something and you do it well, you are respected here and you're part of what we do. So it doesn't matter what it is you choose, but if you choose something and you put your time into it, you will be respected and be part of our community. And that's what we value. We offer sports for everybody, activities for everybody. If you have an interest in something, we probably offer it. As far as athletics go, in the fall, we offer golf, football, field hockey, soccer, cheerleading. So we offer quite a bit there. In the winter, cross country as well. We also offer in the winter a winter track opportunity. We offer hockey, basketball, wrestling, swim in the spring, baseball and softball, lacrosse, another track, and tennis. So we have quite a few offerings and at multiple levels, from a freshman level to a JV level or a sub-varsity level, which is freshmen and sophomores, to a varsity level. We also offer every kind of club and activity you can think of, from student government to theater, band, all sorts of band, choir, marching band, jazz band, many different offerings in the performing arts, and every kind of club you can think of, from an art club to a debate club, science fair. There's a multiple group of things that we offer as far as clubs and activities. As far as tradition and excellence and athletics, our community for 100 years now loves our sports teams, but they also love everything that we do. The theater, the performing arts, the clubs, the activities. Again, if you are putting the time in and you're excellent, you are respected here. Now, the expectation and the tradition of what we do, yes, we are We are known for our athletics, but again, it's everything that we do. And if you're participating and you're involved, you know, when you come in as a freshman, that's our most important thing. Get involved, participate. When you're a sophomore, in all of the things we do, we expect you to learn how to work. Okay, when you're a junior, that's the time you start to compete. And so we're going to teach you how to compete. And as you're a senior, that's when you become a legacy and we teach you how to lead. So that's our model of how we do things in athletics, clubs, activities, and performing arts. And it's all the same. So we have a rich tradition of excellence here, started a long time ago, number one by our academics, number two by our athletics, and number three by our clubs and activities. Along with our traditions and our excellence and our expectations, we also have a bright future because of all the improvements we've made to our school and our facility. First, starting with our gym. We renovated our gym, about 10 years ago. We got a state-of-the-art floor. It's the #1 rated floor you can have, so we're very proud of that. We also have a new set of tennis courts that were renovated 2 years ago. We have a turf field. We're getting a new track and some new bleachers. We have a new baseball field. We also have 2 brand new soccer, lacrosse fields. So our campus has everything that you would want to have if you want to be an athlete. From updated softball fields, baseball fields, soccer fields, football fields, the track, the gym, the weight room. We have 2 weight rooms now. So we're very proud of the work that's been put in by many people and our community by funding it to create an experience for our athletes that's second to none in the area. We've got everything that we need, and it's top notch. I think about our new DiNardo baseball field that was donated by the DiNardo family, and how impressive that is and how excited we are to play our 100th year of baseball on that new field. So we've got the old and the new with beautiful community field to our new turf field that all of our teams play on. We're thrilled, and you've got a wonderful experience if you come and play here. I've been involved in North Attleboro my whole life. I was here as a little kid. I grew up here. I went to high school here. My dad was a teacher here. He was the athletic director years and years ago. And we have a rich tradition here of being part of something bigger than yourself. Being a North kid, we consider a very special thing. When you leave here and you're a North kid, it means a little bit more. It means you understand what it's like to be part of something bigger than yourself, the hard work that goes into it, the ability to be resilient and not always get everything you want right away, that you have to earn it. And when you earn it, it becomes very, not just fun, but it becomes very rewarding. And I think that's the experience you'll have here at North Attleboro if you buy into what we're doing, you know. And again, it's not easy. It's not easy, but it's very rewarding.
My name is Lisa Forsgaard, and I am the director of the North Attleboro High School Theater Company and an English teacher here, but I also teach theater, all the acting, public speaking, and video production. Here at North Attleboro High School, we have a theater company that meets after school. It's in club status, so you join it after school, and we put on 3 productions a year. In the fall, we do a fall play, a full 3-act play, done with auditions. In the end of December, beginning of January, we do our annual 1-act play festival, which has been going on for almost 50 years. And 3 student productions are put on. I oversee it. There's advisors for each one, and we produce them, and the audience gets to vote for their favorite actor and actresses. And the students get a chance to sometimes write plays, but they get a chance to direct plays, and every student in the theater company gets a part. It's a round robin audition, so it's a lot of fun, and there's very little pressure for that. And then in the spring, in conjunction with the music department, we do our spring musical. And that is an audition-based singing, acting, and dancing. And we sell out for our bigger productions. It's just a lot of fun. We have within the theater company the North Improv Troupe, which meets once a week. They have co-hosts. It's an audition into group. Again, you're part of the theater company, but they meet every week, and they do improv games, and they perform at the 1-acts and at the coffee houses and in talent shows around town. We also have an e-board, which is the executive board officers that help run the International Thespian Society, which is a international honor society for actors and backstage tech people. We teach all of the crews, so you can get certified in lighting, in makeup, in set construction, publicity, costumes. We have a large department with a lot of resources and normally have between 60 and 80 kids involved. So a nice place to spend after school. One of my favorite things about having a theater company here is our Pop Warner system of the middle school theater club. And there, students who have no experience whatsoever start playing games for theater games and start learning about the theater. And then they feel very comfortable when they get here in 9th grade. And anyone who has any interest in being on a crew, backstage, on stage, they just want to explore, are welcome here. We do teach theater class during the school day, but the after school group is for anybody who has any interest, and we will train you for anything you want to do. It helps students so much with their sense of self-esteem, with a sense of accomplishment. It is a family here. We do not judge on who gets the big parts. We judge on what you bring to us, because our curtain puller is just as important as our lead actors. And the people that build the sets and get the costumes and do the publicity and sell the tickets and run the concession stands at the intermissions, they're really important people too. We are a family. We have an annual dance-a-thon, which is a lot of fun. We have great parties. We do movie nights. And with the improv troupe, we have improv parties too. So it's a great place for kids to come express themselves. It's a place to leave everything else in the world behind and embody another character or help out a production that's embodying and telling the human story. Another wonderful aspect about North Attleboro High School's theater company is our technical crews. If your child can hammer a nail, can use a screw gun, can use a drill, we want them and need them. Very many students who come to us never set foot on stage, but they come on Saturday mornings and they build the sets that the plays take place in. Many of our students spend a lot of their time up in the lighting booth. They learn how to light a show, they learn how to take care of all the lights that are here. They pass a test to be able to go up in the catwalk, and it really, the future electricians have a place here at the theater company. Anybody who can sew, we value you so much because our costumers need to dress everyone who's going to be on stage. And we have adults who help in all those capacities. We have advisors other than myself who work for every production that we have. But we really need writers, people who can write and send out the publicity to North TV, to the Sun Chronicle, to the Free Press. We put out articles every show that we do. So there's lots of opportunities for kids who just want to be part of something and they may have some skills that we could use.
My name is Rob Kucher and I'm the choir director at North Attleboro High School. To answer the question why people join chorus, we'd have to be here all day. Everybody has a very different reason, and I love that everybody has a different reason because that allows us to have such the mosaic that we have. We have some students that are going to continue on and pursue music as a career, and some people who just want to take it as a fine arts credit, and some people that just like to sing, and that's it. They don't need to explain anything more than that. However, I will say that people are typically surprised once they join, once they try it out, what it really means to be part of a choir, just because it's almost difficult to put into words. When somebody sings in a large group, they're surrounded by all of those voices of their peers, people that are role models to them, upperclassmen, some younger than them, some aspiring singers. When you sing in a large group like that all together and make one sound out of all those voices, it's very, very powerful. And anyone who's been in any kind of large group all there for one purpose, you almost get a sense of what that feels like, the solidarity, the feeling of everyone is there that are like-minded for one goal, one purpose, and it's just incredible. If you felt that with a sports team of 10, 15 people on the field, you can imagine what 60 people screaming in harmony, in perfect rhythm, breathing together, and science has actually shown our hearts beat together because of our breathing patterns. It's incredible. So at North Attleboro High School, the concert chorus is a class that can be taken during the day. It is considered a dedicated class, which is a difference with the middle school, where it's essentially a pull-out program where students are double booked and sometimes can miss rehearsal, sometimes cannot, and it's a little bit of a struggle. Here that goes away, and music is considered as important as any math or science class. It is a scheduled part of the day. So that issue is gone. And because of that, we can create these experiences where all the students are guaranteed to be in attendance, and because of that, we have a strong teamwork ability to create things like concerts, festivals, auditions, projects that really showcase the entire team together. And whether they are a junior, senior, sophomore, freshman, it doesn't matter. We're all in the same room, working on the same things, but everyone is challenged at their own level. They can take the same course 4 years in a row and still be challenged, even if they have just started singing the first day of class, or if they're going to pursue it as a career. Everyone is challenged at their own level, and they're all welcome no matter their ability and no matter what prerequisite experience they've had. Currently, we have a select choir and a women's choir. Those are both audition groups, and if people make those tryouts, we take them as a dedicated group to other places, such as smaller field trips to the Early Learning Center, or sometimes we'll have special performances and caroling events around town. But it's an ensemble that is an addition to our main ensemble, which is the concert chorus during the day, and that's the ensemble that we accept everybody no matter what. And we typically have a winter concert in December, a spring concert in March, and then we have some festivals, some competitions, and we have a fine arts festival in collaboration with the theater and art departments in May.
My name is TJ Rizzo. I'm the band director at North Attleboro High School. The band here at North Attleboro High School is made up of students from grades 9 through 12. We have students who come up from the middle school, and we have students who start halfway through their high school career. Everybody in our music department, everybody in our band get to know one another, work together. In some cases, depending on the activity or the ensemble, we start before the school year. We start over the summer, and we go through graduation and into the following summer. So it's a year-round activity for everybody involved. Students who begin playing an instrument in the middle school come to the high school with that prerequisite knowledge, that training already in place, and are able to continue it here as an academic class. So students who were maybe pulled out of class at the middle school now have a dedicated academic course where they are able to perform, practice during the day. They're graded on it. They are part of the school academic schedule here, so they get just as much support and attention as any other class. Of our many different ensembles here at the high school, our academic schedule allows us to have a concert band throughout the day. Our concert band meets every day in our schedule. It's a wonderful class, and it's kind of the hub of our instrumental program. Students take this class and they go through daily rehearsal schedule. We play incredible music. We put on concerts throughout the year, and it's really the fundamental ensemble that we base all of our other ones off of. In addition to our concert band, we have a jazz band, a marching band, a percussion ensemble. We have small chamber groups, and we also host a private lesson program here at the school where we bring in other faculty members from outside of the school community, professional musicians on specific instruments, where students can register, sign up, and take these private one-on-one lessons with them and improve their craft individually. The ensembles here at the school are competitive, so we actually take our students, and after rehearsing them for days, weeks, months, we take our groups, our students, and we go to regional competition almost with every ensemble. Our concert ensembles, choir and band, our jazz ensemble will compete, our marching ensemble, marching band will compete, and our choirs, both during the school day and extracurricular. They all compete with other students across the state. And it's a really wonderful experience. It brings that spirit of competition, gives us, our students, something to really work towards, really try to attain excellence, perfect everything we're doing, and holds our students accountable to something. And it's wonderful to see our students grow from playing something for fun, which they continue to do, but now put that little edge to it and really make them want to attain everything they can.
Hi everyone, my name is Lisa Giuliano and I'm an assistant principal here at North Attleboro High School. We're all very excited to welcome you to our school next fall and hope that you take every opportunity to get involved in one of the numerous clubs and activities we have to offer here at the high school. So one activity that we're particularly proud of is Active Minds. We proudly became an Active Minds chapter last year at the high school, and as a faculty member of this chapter, I just want to tell you a little bit about its purpose and then introduce to you some of the student members who will let you know why having an Active Minds chapter at the high school is important to them. So Active Minds itself is a national organization, and it started in 2003. The purpose of the organization is to support mental health awareness and education for young adults, and it offers numerous programs and services that work to empower young adults, to reduce the stigma surrounding mental health, and create communities of support. I'm really happy to say that currently we have over 100 Active Minds student members, and these student members work together to raise awareness about mental health, promote positive mental health and wellness in our school community, educate students and staff about the signs and symptoms of mental health disorders, and lastly, encourage students who are struggling to seek out the help and support that they need. So I'm now going to turn it over to Abby Sheaf. Abby Sheaf is our current Active Minds president, and she's going to let you know why Active Minds is so important to her. So let's welcome Abby Sheaf.
Hi everyone, and thank you Ms. Juliana for that introduction. Like she said, I am the current president of the Active Minds chapter at our school. Active Minds is really important to me because of my own experiences. I really want to start the conversation about mental health in our school and try to break down the stigma surrounding it so that nobody at our school ever feels unwelcome or has to struggle with that. Active Minds is a really great group and really important, and I hope that all of you would be encouraged through this video to join Active Minds when you go to the high school next year. Now we have some of the other Active Minds leaders and members who are going to answer some questions and talk about their experiences with Active Minds. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kate Barrett and I'm a junior. So I wanted to join Active Minds because mental health is something myself and many of my friends and peers struggle with. With the pandemic and hybrid and remote learning, all schoolwork and learning has become so much different for all of us, and it really takes a toll on our mental health. So Active Mind provides so many resources for students who are struggling with mental health, and I wanted to be able to share these resources with the students. One of the amazing resources that Active Mind provides is a national conference that is coming up in February. I'm extremely excited to attend this conference as a representative from our school so that we can implement some of the strategies we learned from the conference. I 110% recommend anyone who is interested in Active Minds to join and help add to the positive impact it is making in our school community.
Hi, I'm Kelsey. I'm a freshman representative, and Active Minds benefits our school in so many ways. It makes it way more enjoyable and makes it a more comfortable place for people to talk about their mental health and feel valid and heard.
Hi, I'm Juliana, and I'm a junior member of Active Minds. I wanted to be a part of Active Minds because I was really driven to spread awareness of students' education and mental health in our community.
Hi, I'm Anvi, and I'm a sophomore and a member of Active Minds. Being a part of Active Minds means a lot to me. It helps me reach out to people and listen to their problems. Also, it helps me strengthen my own mental health, and I can contribute in improving others.
There is such a big stigma around mental illnesses. I like being a part of Active Minds because we try and help get rid of that stigma so that people feel more comfortable talking about their mental illnesses and sharing with others how they cope with it.
So we hope you enjoy this video and benefit from it, and find that the information is helpful and useful as you consider your child's experience at North Attleboro High School this coming fall. If there are any questions that you have after watching this video, please feel free to reach out to one of us here at the high school, and we'd be glad to answer any questions or provide you with more information as you prepare for this coming fall. Thank you, and go Big Red.